Hello everyone, I am Blue08, sometimes Blue Zero, and mostly Blue, bringing you the first official gaming video on the channel, XCom Chimera Squad. If you're not super familiar with XCom, it's a strategy turn-based game, and this one's a little different than its predecessors. If you want to see more of XCom and how it kind of plays, I would definitely recommend checking out a YouTuber called Christopher Odd. Very good YouTuber. I'll leave a link to him in the top right. I've been watching his videos since XCOM Enemy Unknown, and he's been playing those games ever since. He's a phenomenal YouTuber. I am not paid to say this, and I don't know him personally. He's just really good XCOM YouTuber. But I'm going to start with XCOM Chimera Squad, because I think it's kind of a good place to start with the channel and the gaming, but also because it's new. I haven't played it yet, and I've only watched a little bit of gameplay on it, so I'm really excited to get started. This is my favorite game of all time, game series of all time, XCOM. Love this stuff. If after this series, if you guys want to see XCOM 2, and maybe even submit your character as a soldier, we'll definitely do that, but let's focus on XCOM Chimera Squad. So, first things first, I'm gonna roll some footage of the tutorial for some story background for your guys' sake, because otherwise you might be a little lost. So yeah, let's roll that clip.
Two minutes out.
Hey, Godmother. Is this like the old days? XCOM swooping in and taking it to the bad guys?
I wouldn't know. I spent most of the war training resistance networks.
Like mine. And for your many, long years of service.
Watch it.
XCOM attaches you to an untested squad and pushes it into the field before it's ready. How is this not like the old days?
I'm just happy to be here. I missed out during the war. Wish I could have pulled my weight.
For which side, exactly?
I find that very hurtful.
Sure thing, Advent.
We are through the checkpoint.
I was never actually Advent.
But they were fitting you for a blocky helmet.
Stow it, both of you. We're here. 3-1 PD gave us the all clear. Grab your gear and prepare to move in. Whisper, what's your status?
And what's Verge's ETA?
Comms are working, obviously. Verge is en route.
How? Verge can't drive.
He hailed a cab.
To a hostage situation?
Focus. Whisper, any surprises in the next room?
A handful of hostiles, unaware of your approach.
Chimera Squad, take positions. Prep for breach.
Hello, I am Mayor Nightingale.
Is that our hostage?
Welcome to City 31's Memorial Museum.
It's just a recording.
As I often say, the lessons from our past inform the present.
Blah, 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 history.
Focus. Target down.
Hostile out of play.
You see this?
Huh. Interesting.
Contact!
Clear.
Verge? What took you so long?
Had to unpack a breaching charge.
Good man.
Not exactly.
You know what I mean.
I always do.
So creepy. Don't ever change.
Verge, form up. Any hostiles in the next room?
Yes, I can feel them.
Stay behind me.
We shall move in.
welcome.
No impact. Arrested the target.
Wait, hold. Hostage confirmed in the next room.
We need more than that.
3-1 PD has a live feed. Patching through.
If you surrender, I will advocate leniency.
Enough. This exhibit, it is about XCom's role in our liberation.
I see you read the placard.
It doesn't say how they went soft and got weak. Now, it's up to us to light the spark.
He's holding a detonator.
Go, now!
How's this for an entrance? You're a Nightingale. I'll protect you.
Cherub is down.
Terminal, stabilize him.
On it.
Verge, with me. Protect the mayor.
Confirmed. Enemies all around us.
The focus on them.
Eradicating. Exterminating. He'll be fine.
Refreshing. Hostile pacifier.
Damn!
Mayor Nightingale, are you all right?
It looks worse than it is. Those medikits are really something.
Compliment accepted.
What about Cherub?
Yeah, I think so. Only thing injured is my pride.
And your diaphragm. And a few ribs.
None of this should have happened.
Most people say thank you.
I'm grateful, of course. But these people don't have the capability for any of this.
Explain.
I read their threat assessment. A month ago, these insurgents were all talk and no capability. The greatest threat they posed was to bottles of alcohol.
Why tell us? Why now?
City 31 shows the world how humans, hybrids, and aliens can keep a lasting peace. I'm the public face of this. Tonight, someone wanted what I represent to go up in flames.
We're not in town for local intrigue.
I know, but right now you're the only ones I'm certain are fighting for that same peace. Can I count on your support?
Yes, ma'am. Package delivered to 3-1 PD.
She truly believes what she says.
That's why she's in charge.
Not too shabby for our first official mission.
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
Celebrate before a mission is complete. It's
bad luck.
Alright, and with that montage, you see how the story begins. As we go through the game, I'll definitely try and help you kind of fill in pieces if you're not too familiar with this and kind of help you understand. But let's jump into the actual gameplay. I'm so excited. Our start game. So, I'm going to be crazy because I think I've only beaten XCom on the hardest difficulty in vanilla in XCOM 2, and I think it was once. But we're going on impossible. Just full send impossible. Don't need a tutorial. I know how to play this game. Easy. We are going to turn on Iron Man, and basically what that does is it's like I can't go back.
Tonight, Mayor Nightingale perished in an explosion at City 31's Memorial Museum. The identity of her assailants is unknown at this time. The City Council asks citizens to remain...
So she gets vaporized the same day XCom sends Chimera Squad to our city? You hear that voice in your head? That's me telling you to wake up!
Despite opposition, Mayor Nightingale's deciding vote brought the Reclamation Agency to the city. Without her support, Chimera Squad's continued presence is an open question.
So I'm going to be trying to be quiet during most of the cutscenes during this game, just so you can like keep attention to the story. I might add a quip in here or two, but for the most part I'll try and be quiet. Anyway, as I was saying, Iron Man, basically what that does is when something happens, it is set in stone. I cannot go back and do it. And one thing that's really different about this game is we have set characters, right, as you can see here, and that's really different in this game because in the old games, every soldier was random or unique in some way. They were not preset. You had to build them from scratch. And once they died, they were gone. That was it. This game's different. Each character is part of the game, is part of the story. They can't really die per se. They'll get knocked out, as you saw in the intro with Cherub. By the way, troopers cannot do that much damage. That's for the sake of the story. But once they're knocked out, you can get them back up, and if they die, the mission restarts. Like, there's no permanent death, as far as I'm aware at the moment. But yeah, that's what's really different about this game. So now we get to choose who we have in our squad for the first part of the game. So I've watched a little bit of gameplay, and based on how I'm gonna start, I'm gonna choose Axiom. Axiom's a very good tank, does a lot of damage, very good at his role. Yeah, so I'm gonna choose him first. I think my next pick is definitely gonna be Terminal for the healing, as you saw in the opening clip. That's why I showed that. Very strong. She's just all around very good. I don't know who I'm gonna pick next though. Cherub's really good. I've seen a lot of gameplay with him, and I've played a little bit of him myself when I first started this game. I've seen a little bit of gameplay with Blue Blood, but I haven't seen much with anybody else. Patchwork and Torque, Godmother. So maybe I'll pick a couple different characters instead for the sake of gameplay. Maybe we'll go with Claymore and Shelter. I don't know much about these characters at all. So yeah, this will be fun, be a good start. Let's get started.
Chimera Squad, heads up. Director's on the line from XCom HQ.
Chimera Squad, I know you're still settling in, but this cannot wait. A short time ago, insurgents crashed the opening of City 31's Memorial Museum. They took Mayor Nightingale hostage. 3-1 PD attempted a rescue, but the insurgents triggered a plasma bomb. Everyone inside was lost.
As if this shouldn't just happen 3 minutes ago.
3-1 PD should have requested our help, but dwelling on that is counterproductive. We need to focus on what we do next. A crude plasma bomb killed the mayor. The insurgents had no access to materials for that.
Does that mean they had outside help?
Most likely. There are 3 groups in City 31 with access to this kind of ordnance.
Alright, so here's the 3 factions in the game that we get to play against. We'll get to go through all of these at some point. So, the Progeny, a loose network of human scions. Their vision for City 31's future is entirely psionic, whether the city wants it or not. Psionics are mind powers in this game. Basically, they just... I don't know why I say basically. Why do I keep doing that? Anyway, these characters are very strong. Any mind power is very strong in this game against most enemies. As you saw with Verge in the beginning, he had a couple of psionic powers. That purple mind power, very strong. The Grey Phoenix is an organization of alien scavengers. They have quietly amassed the kind of weaponry Reclamation is mandated to recover. So on my old laptop, I kind of tried to play this game and realized, alright, this is where I need to build a new computer. When I saw that this was not going to work. But this is who I started with, and this is probably who I'm going to start with now, because that's kind of how I wanted to play. That's who I thought would be behind this. And then Sacred Coil, an underground religious movement for hybrids. They preach salvation, but only to those who once fought XCom. These guys sound like scumbags, and I'm definitely going to fight them at some point, probably next. I've seen a little bit of gameplay of them through Christopher Odd's stuff, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, but I'm going to start with Grey Phoenix, and we're going to go fight some aliens.
Grey Phoenix is a group of primarily muton scavengers operating in the city. Recently, they've armed themselves with highly restricted weaponry. That puts them on our radar.
Director, these are local criminals. Isn't that 31PD's jurisdiction?
True. The Reclamation Agency supports local police, but we're also required to recover dangerous material.
From those who would do the world harm, and each of those groups is neck deep in the stuff. So what next?
Focus on a single group. Investigate, dismantle their operations, and take them down.
Meanwhile, we look for any links to the mayor's death. Either way, a dangerous organization is off the streets.
Exactly. The city wants justice for Mayor Nightingale. This is how we help them achieve it.
Alright, so this is basically just kind of like a little progress bar on how we're doing, but obviously nothing has happened yet because we just started, but March 1st. The investigation is open. Okay, so let's try and, oh man, there's a lot to explain in this game. So right here, the big one, City Anarchy, this is basically the bar that allows you to lose the game. You're trying to keep that from going all the way up here, and otherwise, game over. I haven't seen what happens exactly when that happens, but yeah, let's hope we don't lose. This is Illyrium. This is how you'll build things in the assembly here, which we'll get to in a second. Intel is used to buy or upgrade field teams on the city map and buy exotic items in the scavenger market. This is very strong, very powerful material that we're going to want to collect a lot of. I'm probably going to focus Intel pretty hard in this game. And then credits, and these are spent in supply to both buy new items and upgrade existing ones. So this is also really good and definitely want to be keeping an eye on that. So I'll get to the city map in a second, but let's start in the assembly.
Check it out. Headquarters sent us an assembly. With the right patterns, we can build anything. Or we could with the latest version. What you're looking at is the extremely finicky 2038 model.
Thanks, XCom.
It'll take time to stress test our patterns, but once we have them, we're good to go.
Alright, so the first thing we get is an Android personnel. Construct the Android OPS hub. This network allows us to use androids on tactical missions and enables new assembly projects. Basically, these guys are like backup in case an enemy, in case a friendly goes down, and they'll come out on the next breach. Or if you just don't have enough, they should just come out automatically if the mission starts. So we're going to begin this project and get that started. Next up we have Spec Ops.
I'm authorizing Chimera Squad for special operations. Some ops provide useful resources for the squad. Keep an eye out for these opportunities.
So yeah, basically these, you have to send a unit away for a whole 3 days to get in a certain reward. So this one gives 75 credits, this one gives 60 intel, this one gives 20 Illyrium. So if I had an extra unit, I would be able to send them away to get stuff, but it's costly because you lose manpower.
When you aren't on mission, you need to maintain your skills, physical and mental. Training is the place to do it. It's also where you can adapt to any lasting wounds received in the field. So don't let those wounds linger. You'll pay for them in the long term.
So yeah, when enemies, why do I keep saying enemies? Sorry. When friendlies go down, they acquire scars, which tend to have very negative effects on the unit, and you don't want those. But if I had a free unit, I could stick them in here, and they could train. The first level is base 2 HP, so say I threw Axiom in there, after a certain amount of days, he would get 2 HP, but I don't have a unit to select and show you right now. This is the armory. This is where we can look at all of our cool guys we just got. I'll probably go over their biographies in the next episode, or at the end of this one. Probably the end of this one I'll go over them. But basically all these characters have really cool backstories that I'm not too familiar with, so I'm excited to read that. We can also tint their armor. What are you? You're a grenadier, so you can have some red. you are our psionic, so you can have purple because it fits and it makes sense. Terminal is our healer, so I'm gonna give her yellow, support yellow. And then Axiom is our tank, and he will have green to fit his muton self. Yeah, so that's really cool. Here's the supply.
Our temporary
while you
field
buy
office
things.
has all the basics. Weapons, and comms, and ammunition. Supply is where we request everything else. As long as it's in the squad's budget, it's ours.
So the first thing I'm going to buy is train grounds. These are very good. And I'll get more into that when we get into the actual gameplay, but knocking out enemies in this game is very strong and very necessary. Now let's look at the city map.
Welcome to City 31. During Advent's occupation, the city was a fortress supporting an active starport. 5 years after XCom won the war, it's home to aliens, hybrids, and humans alike. There's new industry, self-government, and local agriculture to support the varied populations. Against all odds, this city thrived after the war. There were no retributive attacks.
Until tonight.
We don't know that. Not yet. But we can find out.
So yeah, this is the city map. There's several different districts, and each district has its own anarchy. Once this gets to 5, then this starts counting up. So you definitely do not want this to hit 5. Here's where you can buy field teams. So I could buy one right off the bat if I wanted to. I don't think I'm going to yet, but each one has different rewards. Finance, you get 5 credits, and 40 credits bonus rewards on district missions, and 5 credit income, 1 district unrest. And that helps obviously get rid of the district unrest. Security, 5 intel, plus 5 intel income every Friday. Plus 20 intel bonus rewards on district missions, plus 5 intel income, minus 2 district unrest every Friday. This is really strong. That's definitely like the one I like the most, but you want to kind of keep it balanced as best as you can at least. And then technology. And you get 5 Illyrium income, 15 Illyrium bonus rewards on district missions, 5 Illyrium income, plus 1 operation reveal point bonus on district missions. So yeah, that's pretty good, pretty strong. Yeah, we'll definitely get into that when we have a little more stuff to do. Down here, when you have more field teams, you can do certain things like reduce district unrest, such as you can get rid of the different unrests here. This one will freeze district unrest, so you can stop it for a little bit, which is really nice. Gain extra situational awards. I haven't used this one or seen anyone use this one, so I'm not really sure what it does. And then this is reduce city anarchy, which will reduce your progress up here. I haven't seen it in action, so I'm not too familiar with how it works. But let's get started. Let's jump into this. Whisper here. I'll keep you updated on activities requiring our attention. Speaking of which, Grey Phoenix just shot up a micro mall with plasma weapons. We should look into that, right? The credits is our reward. Let's send our
Say
ACP.
a hostile force has access
APC.
to a dangerous device, but
I
destroying
can't talk.
it
It's
would
late. I'm
cause
sorry,
harm
guys.
to you or others. In that case, finesse is the better option. Approach the device and disable it, just as you were trained.
Okay, so we got Axiom, Terminal, Claymore, and Shelter. And you have to have your APC full in order to go on missions. You can't have it kind of half done. So we have a couple items we can give. I'm going to give the train crowns to Axiom because he's going to be in the front dealing heavy damage, getting lots of kills, and I want him to be dealing the final blow to get those knockouts. And then I'll probably just give the breaching charge to Claymore because I feel like it makes a lot of sense. And then Terminal will obviously be healing, and Shelter will be doing some cool psionic stuff that I haven't really seen yet, so let's move. We're off.
A short while ago, Grey Phoenix engaged unknown assailants at this location. After the shooting stopped, Grey Phoenix locked down the whole block.
Alright, so this is the breach mode. This is how you'll enter every encounter with the enemies. This is pretty important part of it if you want it to go good. So here we got the main door, rear guard. Last unit through this entrance gets +1 armor for the encounter. So whoever's last is gonna be a little more tanky. So I always like to send in Axiom first. He's the tank, he deals a lot of damage. I think it just makes sense. Next up will be Claymore. Behind that will be Shelter. Actually, no. Behind that will be Terminal. Then Shelter, because I want him to have the armor, because as you can see, everyone here has 9 health, but he has 7, so he's really weak in comparison. Definitely an easy target on Impossible. So he will get the armor. And I think we're good. Let's breach.
Keep behind me.
Alright, so we got a Legionnaire Muton with a shotgun, Legionnaire Muton with a shotgun, an Adder Snake, and another Adder Snake. So, yeah, these are all different aliens from the universe, and they're a little different in this game as they've been in the past, but yeah, this will be fun to see how they kind of evolve over time and how different they are from the past games. But I think I'm just going to start by unloading into this Legionnaire for a crit. I'd love to see it. Okay. Another shotgun, so lots of damage. I hear potential. Let's go on this Legionnaire as well. 3 damage. Got a submachine gun here, 3 to 5. I think we're just going to go ahead and take out this Legionnaire while we can. And finally, we'll take a shot over at this Adder. Alright, now we move. Okay, so this is where the game gets really different. So in most XCOM games, you would get all your soldiers in one turn, and then the other team would take all their soldiers in one turn. This game is completely different. You have to go in the timeline order. So Axiom's first, and then the Adder with the 2 over here is next. And that's really different, and it really throws me off, so be patient with me as I try and figure that out again, because it's just so different. But the nice thing is with this, a lot of actions, or abilities I should say, don't require an action. So Psych Up here, for example, will increase his rage, and this basically gives a chance every time Axiom is hit, he will go into Berserk and just kind of go crazy and hit whatever is near him. It's pretty funny when it goes off, and we're going to use this because it's free, no reason not to. And then we're going to move in over here, I think. And he goes 6 and he goes 4th, so we're going to go with the Legionnaire here. And as you can see, it got him knocked unconscious. I'll get into that after this turn. Let's see what the Adder does. Poison.
Don't like the feel of
great.
That's what
And he gains 1 mobility and 40 dodge. Well, I hate to break it to you, that's not going to last. So as you saw over here, this Legionnaire is knocked unconscious. So every unconscious enemy gives a 20% chance to drop extra intel at the end of the mission. So you'll get a 20% chance if you knock one, 40% to get intel, 60, 80, 100, and it stops at 100, and you can't get any more after that. So you want to be trying to knock out at least 5 enemies every round. It's pretty important to do that because intel's so strong in this game. So here we got Claymore. I don't know what he does. He has fire weapon, shrapnel bomb. So he just throws a freaking grenade and does not end the turn if used as the first action. Okay, so it's still used as an action though. Interesting. Throws an explosive. Claymore throws an explosive that detonates after several turns. The explosive does not deal damage through cover and cannot be targeted to detonate early. Interesting. So it's not like an instant grenade. Okay. Well, I'm not going to use that anyway because we have a chance to just subdue him.
Target subdued.
Alright, now we're on to Terminal's turn, and with her I'm going to heal Shelter and get rid of the poison.
gremlin on the
Or
way.
not. I think this uses one action.
We're in good hands.
I can never remember. Yes, it does use one action. So with that, I'm going to have her just go ahead and shoot at the adder. Nice, 2 damage. Oh, Christ.
Flesh wound.
Yep, that needs stitches.
It went off on 2 rage? That's hilarious. I love it. I love that. So, as you can see, it triggered.
I'm getting a strong source of Illyrium in your vicinity. I can't pinpoint a location.
There's a ramen bar out back. Maybe Illyrium is their secret ingredients.
So, at the higher levels, it has a higher chance to go off the rage and him go into Muton Berserk. But it clearly just triggered pretty early there from that one adder. I guess he was just really pissed that that adder bit him and poisoned him. Fair enough. That was a great turn at the sequence of events. So, okay, so now we're on to the next encounter, and we have 2 options this time. Wall or main door. Okay. So, on the wall we have explosive interest. All non-aggressive enemies guarding this entrance are surprised. That's really good, because then the alert enemies don't get to do anything. And last unit through this entrance automatically receives Overwatch after the breach. Okay, that's pretty decent. First unit through this entrance is marked until the end of the encounter. That's not great. So I think instead of sending anyone through this one, I'm actually just going to send everyone through here. And Claymore has to go first because he has the breaching charge. So unfortunately I can't send Axiom through first, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Next we'll have Axiom, then we'll have Terminal behind them, and Shelter last. And Shelter didn't get to use his turn. We finished up everything pretty quickly because Axiom decided to freaking kill the thing. So hopefully we'll get to see what he does in this one.
Opening a side door.
I'm not sure that's a side door, Claymore, but I mean, I guess. Alright, what do we got? We got 1 adder, another adder, a legionnaire, and another legionnaire. Oh great, the legionnaires are going to be impossible to hit, so cool, that's great. These are not good shots, but it's what I've got, so you just take a shot. Nice, very epic. I mean, same with you, Axiom, your shot's not great either. Hopefully you could be unconscious. Nice. Just try and shoot the legionnaire. And we missed it. Okay, great. Great start. Well, may as well try again. Okay, the Ghostmith's sick.
Looking for targets.
Okay.
They won't get the drop
So this
on
one
us.
hunkered down. Not sure what the other one did. Or was there another alert one? I don't remember at this point. I'm gonna try the grenade. And just throw it in here and kind of see what happens. Because it only costs 1 action. So that's when it blows up on the timeline. Interesting. Okay. And his shots are not good. Okay, so I'm going to use Overwatch, and basically what Overwatch does is allows you to shoot on the enemy's turn if they move. So if this guy moved, or if anyone moved into this cone, Claymore would take a shot at them. And that's what I'm going to use here. It's different in this game. It's all cone based instead of just whatever's in your line of sight like the old games, but we'll get used to it.
Hostiles will not get through. Don't burn through your ammo. I'm not doing much damage.
I guess he had the last
At
unit
least
through
you
there
didn't
with
miss.
a Overwatch shot. Okay, thank
Hostile
goodness he
missed me.
missed. That was a nice hit though for a couple damage. I mean, not perfect, but you know, we take what we can get. Alright, let's psych up here.
Ready for action.
And we'll move in.
Incoming.
So apparently it's saying I can target that, but his ability was saying that I can't that, so I'm not sure what the interaction is there. I'm just going to shoot at one of the aliens because I don't want to waste his turn in case something goes whack. So we're going to shoot at the adder.
Hostile off the board.
Okay.
Good hit.
Good shot, honestly. And that grenade did nothing, so that's cool, I guess. Just got cut over. Please don't hit.
How can you miss such a big target?
Got him. Although I could ask you the same question when you missed the mutons. Okay, so first things first, I think I'm just going to go ahead and heal Axiom and give him a little defense. That's probably better than just him sitting there. What's your shot like? 32? And just
I'll shoot
go
at
ahead and
anything that
Overwatch.
moves.
Okay, so this is relocate. Swap positions with a target enemy or ally. Shelter psionically swaps positions with targeted enemy or ally. It does not automatically end the turn. Okay, interesting. So this one goes pretty late, so I might actually go ahead and swap with him just to put him back here and make it easier for me to hit. I am behind you now. What is this? Oh, closed door. Let's see if we can get the kill here. Oh, yes, Shelter. Yes. I love it. I love to see that. Oh yeah, and as you'll see, I threw a shrapnel bomb, but I already have it back. So that's another different thing about this game. There's not as many, like, cooldowns. If there is a cooldown for an ability, that means it's really, really strong. And it definitely deserves a cooldown. But as you can see, most of these don't have cooldowns for the enemies next turn. And that goes for the enemies as well. Alright, so let's just put Claymore right in his face. Good stuff. And I will psych up Axiom.
Who wants some?
And just go ahead and have him subdue, save the ammo. Or I guess we don't need to save the ammo, but it's 100% chance to hit and it goes through armor, so we'll just have him. Good stuff. Alright, on to the next encounter.
Whoa, I'm reading a massive Illyrium core in the next room. It's losing stability fast. Secure and contain that core before it takes out the whole block.
Let's not do anything hasty, like blow it up.
I agree, Shelter. It's probably a dumb idea. Okay, so we have main door and wall. All units entering here get 25 defense for 1 round. That's pretty good. All non-aggressive allies guarding this entrance are surprised. All units through this entrance gain plus 50 dodge for 1 round. Huh. Well, I think the wall is still better in this situation, just because of how we get all non-aggressive enemies guarding this entrance are surprised, and all units get 50 dodge. Defense is really good, don't get me wrong, but you still have a chance to get hit. However, if you get hit with this, the 50 dodge is going to help you take less damage. So I think that's better effectively. Instead of doing like a full 5, maybe you'll get 2, which, I don't know, sounds better to me. Oh, I don't have a breaching charge. Okay, never mind what I just said. I forgot that was a one-time use. Why did I forget? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's send Axiom, Claymore, Terminal, and Shelter through. And let's breach the door. 25 defense, here we go. Bop! Okay, we got an aggressive adder. So, aggressive means he's going to shoot if we don't kill him this turn. Which isn't good, as you might imagine. We got a Legionnaire over there, and an adder over there. Well, Axiom, go ahead and take your shot at the adder. That sounds like... Oh, okay. Okay, Axiom. We get it. Jeez, man. Take the Legionnaire. Really? That's not cool, bro. That's not cool. Yeah, I'm more scared of the Legionnaires than the adders. Like, the adders usually just come up and bite you. But the Legionnaires have a shotgun, plasma shotgun, and that sounds nasty. probably as nasty as what we were holding, and I don't want to get hit by that, so we're going to take out the Legionnaires. Or not. Jeez.
Moving over there.
Oh, we got another snake in here. I think that's a python.
Target spotted. Shut it down.
Okay, so the pythons, from what I know, are basically the vipers of the XCom 2, and they're nasty. They will bind you up, and you will not be able to move, and they will do damage over time. It's really not pleasant. Okay, so the Legionnaire is going to go next, but there's not really a whole lot I can do about that. So instead, I'm just going to move in here and give this python my shotgun. And it's not going to kill. Cool. Okay, great. And we're going to get flanked. It's going for Claymore. Interesting. 4 damage.
Try harder. Now you pay it back.
Okay. So I'm gonna have... Yes, I'm gonna have
Heading over there.
Claymore move over here and try and kill this adder with the shotgun. And we succeeded. Great stuff. Alright, so now, because of that, I'm going to have... Actually, first... Wait, okay, can I make it there in one move? Yes. Okay, first we're going to heal Claymore.
Let the high-tech spray do its work.
I agree.
That works.
Okay, so then, now I'll have a terminal here come and subdue the python.
Stay down.
Good stuff. Okay. And I think... How much damage does this do? 3 to 5? Could. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do the relocation again to bring him out in the open. And this way he's in actually less cover for me, and I have a better shot. Not a kill, but that's okay, because we will psych up back.
On the edge.
And come over here and subdue.
Stop wiggling. You're caught.
Alright, so let's move our
Finding a
people
better
into
spot.
place.
You'll make it.
And I'll just have him overwatch this, even though there's not much point. I kind of want to have everyone kind of
Gotta get
close to the
moving.
door before I open the door, just because I think that's the smart move here. Also, this starting mission is the same every time, and I've played it a couple times, so I kind of have an idea of what's going to happen, unfortunately.
Ready for action.
Sad, but it'll still be fun. Let's get Axiom here. And then I'm just going to end the turns here. Everyone else is close enough. And I'm going to have Axiom bust through the door. Right for this. Wait. What? There's not a Legionnaire here. Okay. Well, then I'll interact with this. However, I did know that was going to happen.
Holy crap, his muscles are muscles.
Yeah, you've seen other Legionnaires, bro. Good shot. And we can just go in. Easily subdue. No need to waste our time trying to shoot it.
Go on. Get going.
Yeah, get out of here, civilians. So yeah, that's one thing you'll see a lot is if you see random people kind of sitting around, they're civilians that you don't want to die because it causes unrest, and that's not good. Elerium core recovered. One thing we know about Grey Phoenix, they should stay away from Elerium cores. Oh, and Director Kelly is on the line. I'll patch her through when you get back to base. So that's a Whisper talking to us. Here's our mission stats. That's complete, blah, blah, blah. You can read all that. So from 9 captured enemies, we have gained 20 intel. So like I said earlier, if I only captured one enemy by knocking him unconscious, I'd have a 20% chance to get 20 intel. And then 2 would be 40 to get 20, 60 to get 20 at 3, and so on and so forth. You get it. And we have some wounds, but that's okay. Terminal got unharmed. Great stuff. Excellent rating. Let's get back to base. Backing up, backing up, backing up. Alright, so we got 30 credits, 20 intel from captured enemies. From the archives, Bradford, aliens in your agency? Jane, what are you thinking? Kelly, what is our greatest existential threat? The Elders returning. If they do, who will we need to fight them off? Everyone. I get it. I've seen the projections, but do you really think the commander will go for this? I think the commander has always seen the bigger picture. So yeah, that's one thing that I didn't really talk about much in my intro. Probably should have mentioned it. But this game takes about 5 years after XCOM 2, when XCOM 2 won the war against the aliens and took back the planet. It's a long story that maybe I'll share as the game progresses and things get revealed, or if you want to go, like I said, watch another series, that's okay. I totally understand to get caught up. But XCom Chimera Squad is a great game, and I'm super excited to continue with it, so I'm going to play it through like this. And I'll definitely go back and play XCOM 2 at some point.
Gray Phoenix is after large quantities of Illyrium. Why do they need that much power? Illyrium access would allow them to refine an explosive powerful enough to kill Mayor Nightingale. Gray Phoenix has the means. Find out if they had the motive.
So yeah, that's one thing we're trying to figure out. Which of these factions had the motive to kill the mayor? Why would they want to, you know? After everything's been so good for so long, why now? We know Great Phoenix can quickly move personnel throughout City 31. Once you learn how, we'll know how to wall them off. And this is just what we've learned on the investigation log. No dark events active yet. And yeah, that was really easy for impossible because it's the first mission. Trust me, this game gets so much harder. It's gonna be really difficult to beat, I feel like. But not as difficult as the other two XComs. Those are hard. But as you can see, we can get a new recruit. You can now select an agent to add to your squad.
The director
Awesome.
convinced the city council we're too understaffed to be effective. This means we can bring more agents to City 31. It's not the whole squad, not yet, but it's something.
So we don't get to choose all the people like we did earlier. We get select people. Godmother from the tutorial. She's pretty good, has a shotgun, but we already have a lot of shotguns on this team, and I don't want another one because the range are horrible. We got Blue Blood. I've seen a little bit of gameplay of him. He's probably pretty good for what we were doing right now. And Patchwork, she's really good for her Gremlin, as it can hack and do chaining jolt. Very good against robotic enemies. I don't know if we'll face robotic enemies in the alien faction, so she might be a good pick, but I think for now I'm going to take Blue Blood because his Deadeye is very strong, and he also has Desperado. Standard pistol fire and Deadeye cost an action and does not end automatically in the turn if agent has actions remaining. So basically, if you have both your actions, you can shoot twice, and that is so strong, especially with his aim. He only uses a pistol, but I mean, it's still so crazy strong. Like, I am definitely going to take Blue Blood, I think.
Blue Blood, great to see you.
Back at you, Whisper. Settling in?
Not exactly. Until we have a proper field office, we get to sleep in a rail car repair yard.
See? Every job comes with a few perks.
Let me know when we have any.
Alright, and let's tint his armor. Probably go with black. So yeah, that's one thing that's really cool about this game though, like as compared to the old titles with random soldiers. Every character has their own personality, and it meshes so well, and it's really fun to watch. But yeah, that's the new characters. I think I'm going to read the biographies for them in the beginning of the next episode, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so he's currently idle, so I think I'm actually going to do something crazy. I'm going to put Blue Blood in Axiom's spot, and I'm going to take Axiom and put him into training to get extra HP. As you can see, 2 HP for 2 days. And this is just going to make him tankier and even better, and obviously help him survive shots, so I want him to be as fast as I can while the game is still easy-ish. So we're going to put him in there. Assembly has a day left. Let's go to the
We know Gray Phoenix can quickly move personnel throughout City 31. Once you learn how, we'll know how to wall them off.
Okay. So we got a couple of...
Chimera Squad. I'm Commissioner Maloof of 31 PD. To be blunt, I don't give a Chrysalis ass about the politics. I'm glad you're in the city. 31 PD was stretched thin before the mayor's death. There are gaps to fill, and that's where you come in. When your agents can handle a situation better than my officers, I'll send the details your way. If the city council has a problem with that, I'll take the heat. They can't afford to fire me. I look forward to working with you.
Commissioner Maloof. Not even going to say hello?
Blue blood, is it now? Couldn't hack into 31 PD, so you had to fail upward?
You know how it is, Halia. I always pick the easy path.
The department is happy to see one of its own back in town.
Good to be back. We'll do right by you, Commissioner.
Of that, I have no doubt.
Okay, so... Oh wait, these are actual missions. Okay. Sorry, I'm not super familiar with how these tags work in this game, but so as you can see, we have a bunch of missions we can do. Like this one here, the reward is an expanded magazine, so that's going to give you an extra ammo bit for your encounter. However, I rarely see you run out of ammo, at least early on, so that's not super useful. We could get intel here, and these are good, don't get me wrong. However, this purple mission here correlates to this purple mission here, and that's really important because this will take off a day on finding this mission, and we need to do that or else this is going to go into panic mode. Now, this isn't great, getting 3 in the fringe in downtown, getting 3 unrest. I'm not a big fan of that, but there's not really much I can do because I have to take this mission to also solve this one and solve this one. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy our first field team, and this is going to be security because it's just so strong, so we're going to go with that. Yes. And then obviously you can upgrade it as time goes on, but that's not really useful right now. And now with one field team we can reduce district unrest, so as this goes up I can pick one of these and reduce it. But first things first is I'm going to select this mission. Plus 2 days towards the reveal operation reveal. So instead of 5 days, it's 3 days, which helps our unrest, which is really good. And we get 30 credits. 31 PD got a tip about Gray Phoenix relief supply scam, sorry. We think they're getting goods off the books from a sympathetic supplier. Find a sample so we can figure out their source. I can read.
Sometimes we need to infiltrate hostile territory. This usually means we're after important contraband. Grab the contraband and get out. Do not stick around.
Okay, so since... Okay, gotta make items available. So since Axiom is sitting in the training, I'm going to give the trank bullets to Blue Blood because he's going to be doing a lot of shooting and we still want to knock out a lot of enemies to try and get that 20 supplies. So locate the relief. Difficulty difficult, 1 encounter, so that's really nice. Not gonna have 3 like the last one. We'll only have 1 breach, and we can go through the door or the security door. So a security door requires an auto key card for 50 credits. I think I'm gonna buy that just because I believe it is reusable and it will be useful. So I'm going to put that on. I'm gonna put that on, I think, Terminal, because she has the most health, most net health, and she will have the auto key card instead. Or actually, wait. No, okay, no, we don't need that. That's silly, because we don't even need the breaching item for this one. So instead, we will swap those and make more sense. And yeah, the team is ready. That's where I'm going to leave it off for now, though, and we will start up in the next episode, in the next mission. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I'm super excited to continue this and go through this story with you guys. This is, like I said, one of my favorite games of all times, one of my favorite game series of all times. I mean, the story is beautiful, and I really hope you'll go and catch up if you're not familiar, or maybe you'll watch XCom 2 when that comes around for me when I finish this game. But that could be a while, so don't get your hopes up on that being anytime soon, at least. Yeah, like I said, thank you all for watching. This has been Blue08, sometimes Blue Zero, and mostly Blue, signing off.